Mean girls suck. Are you one? Mean girls are everywhere, and chances are you've encountered one before, socially or at work. Perhaps you may even be dealing with one in your own family. Maybe you have a hell on wheels mother-in-law or a catty, cruel cousin. I know from personal experience that it's never fun to be on the receiving end of mean girl behaviors. It can drain the life right out of you. On the flip side of that, though, have you ever looked inward to see what type of behavior you may be demonstrating to others? To know for sure that you aren't contributing to the type of negativity that you are receiving? Chances are you absolutely are not. But what if you are? What does that ultimately mean for you and your relationships with other women? It means you have to look within. Have you ever wondered why you are not attracting the right type of people in your life? We tend to attract what we put out there. I'm not saying if you've experienced female rivalry that you are the reason why it has occurred at all. 99% out of 100, you are not the reason why you've been targeted with this type of behavior. But let's take a look at that very other small percentage. What if your inner she-bully plays a part in how you view yourself and the vibe you're putting out there to the rest of the world? What then? A self-check is a reality check. To shift your internal perception about yourself, you need to declutter your mind and have accountability with your own vulnerability. You have to be critically conscious and understand the part you play in this story, because you and you alone are accountable for your own actions. Have you ever thought you were too light, too dark, not pretty, thin, or hip enough? Have you compared yourself to other people on social media thinking they were better than you? Have you been afraid to voice your own opinion for fear of what the response would be? Have you ever looked in the mirror and completely critiqued your nose, your hair, your eyes, all the while finding fault about your overall appearance? Ashley shared her story with me. For many, many years, I dealt with mean girls. It started in grade school and continued from there. It was awful. It happened at work, home, socially. I didn't know what was wrong. I constantly thought, why me? What have I done to attract this horrible behavior? I was so sad, unhappy, and I didn't like who I was. I didn't have any real friends. In my mid-20s, I went to a counselor where I learned so much. I now can see that I was broken. I didn't like who I was. I wasn't happy all the time. I had a very low self-confidence, and simply put, I did not love who I was. I never stood up for me because I could not. No one had ever taught me how to. In that sense, I was attracting bad people. I couldn't see it because I felt so bad about myself. And as a result, I could only point blame. Were those mean girls still mean? Yes, absolutely. But I also have to realize the part that I played. Now, though, I like who I am and I am happy. The counseling has paid off. And I have a really good group of friends that totally get me and like me for me. Yay, Ashley! I am so sorry that she experienced that type of cruel behavior, but so happy to see she was able to reflect, make changes, and move on. The T-Lex Institute posted research in 2019 that summarized the average human has 60,000 thoughts per day, and 80% of them, almost 50,000 of those thoughts are negative. Reflect on that for a moment. Some of the worst things you will ever say to or think about yourself are remarks you would never in a million years say to another person. That little voice in your head, your saboteur, inner bully, negative she voice that loves to cause doubt and put you down, consciously or not, she can be simply awful. It's true, often, always, we are our own worst critics. Dr. Dyer educational researcher said, if you don't love yourself, nobody will. Not only that, you won't be good at loving anyone else. Loving starts from within. Number one, if you do not love yourself, you will not have the ability to love others. Number two, if you do not like yourself, you will not have the ability or the capacity to form sustainable relationships with other women. Number three, you are the writer of your own story, and only you are accountable for your own actions. Changing your mindset begins from within. People ask me all the time how to overcome frenemies and mean girls, and while every story is so different and there are oh so many more reasons, seriously, as to why this type of behavior occurs, one key, very important thing to always keep in mind: in order to be strong enough to overcome it, you have to have the confidence in yourself to know that you do not deserve to be treated this way. And that, my fair lady, begins from within. Shout out to all the other girls who smile and compliment each other. Not only does it feel good, you know when you see this type of behavior in action that they are females who are comfortable in their own skin. It's a known fact that women who love themselves love other women. So give yourself the love. Give her the love too. I bet you'll be surprised at the changes you see when you begin to embrace collaboration over competition. It's a big bad world out there, and what we can do together is far more than what we can do alone. To receive more pro tips like this and my 2B Talks videos, subscribe here to my 2B Coaching YouTube channel to receive regular updates. You will receive weekly info about how to maneuver and better understand the ins and outs of tricky female relationships. For additional information about female rivalry, visit my website at www.2bcoachingandconsulting.com.